Welcome in, everybody, to Betting Pros. It's time to place your bets. It is me, Joey P, Joe Pisapia, and this is BP NFL. It's time to look ahead to Monday Night Football, and I think this one is just kind of close your eyes and believe that the Chiefs are back. That's the point of view I'm taking. We'll see what point of view Scott Bogman takes on this game here, because this is definitely a tricky one. It feels a little trappy after the first couple of weeks of watching the Chiefs, but regardless, we're going to give you props. We're going to talk same game parlay. We're going to talk touchdowns, do it all. Scott Bogman coming off a 3-2 Thursday night. We shifted over the Purdy prop when he was out. Of course, an hour after we recorded the show, of course, Brock Purdy all of a sudden popped up as out. But Mac Jones went over, and Bogman alerted me, just keep it, let it roll, he said. And damn it, it rolled indeed. The only thing that didn't roll, unfortunately, was the Rams over the 49ers. I got that 7. Woo-hoo.
You did.
I could have gotten way more. But
I think it went out to like 8.5 or 9.5. Like it got out there pretty quick after we found out that like, Purdy also wasn't playing.
It felt like the classic, it shouldn't be, the Rams should be able to just whoop on this team that's got, fallen apart at the seams health-wise. And if I've learned one thing in all my years of watching the NFL, that's just never how it goes. Like, that script just never seems to pan out ever.
Listen, this is my fault. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take the blame for this one. I was looking at Survivor this week in one of my Survivor pools, and I've used a bunch of the good matchups this week. Let me go ahead and sneak through the Rams at home on short rest against a team without their starting quarterback, any of their starting wide receivers, their Pro Bowl tight end. All they have is blood-sucking Christian McCaffrey, and somehow they still win this game. All it took was 38 bananas sent to Mac Jones on the sideline, and he was good to go.
Yep.
So,
crazy times. But again, that's in the past. This is in the future. So again, subscribe to the channel, drop your comments below. And of course, don't forget, we've got a new giveaway. It's the Nick Chubb autographed helmet. We're giving this one away, again, courtesy of our good friends at pristineauction.com. All you need to do is head to bettingpros.com/contest, complete the form, and either download the Betting Pros app, leave a review of the Betting Pros podcast, or subscribe to our social media channels at Betting Pros on X, on TikTok, and Betting Pros NFL on the IG. The more actions you complete, the more entries you'll receive, and you'll be hearing the winner right here on the channel, believe it or not. So make sure you ring that bell till it goes ding so you never miss a piece of content, and we can let you know if you're the big winner of the Nick Chubb helmet. All right, Boggs, let's take a look at this game here on Betting Pros. Here are the consensus lines for the Chiefs and Jags as of recording this. Now, hopefully, Trevor Lawrence and Patrick Mahomes will play, and we won't have a repeat of Thursday night where we record a show and then an hour later the QBs change. But as of right now, you got your classic -3 Kansas City Chiefs. Even Vegas is like, you know what? We're not going to put our neck out on this one very much. We're just going to say the Chiefs -3, even though it's on the road. That tells you it should be a Chiefs victory here. Jacksonville +3.5 right now. And look, Jacksonville's played some good football, coming off a big win last week against the 49ers, right? Maybe a game they should not have won. 46.5 is the under, 45.5 is the over. -175 on the money line for the Chiefs, +170 for the Jaguars if you like the upset. I like Kansas City with the 3 here. I think they win this one by a touchdown. I really do. I've yet to see Brian Thomas Jr. do anything here yet. I know the Jaguars defense has been opportunistic. Unless BTJ really starts getting going and this is the game where it happens, I do think they get into a tough spot here. I think Xavier Worthy being back healthy is obviously huge for them. Tyquan Thornton's been emerging. I'd love to see Brashard Smith touch the football more. That's my love letter to you, Andy Reid, this week. He seems like the more explosive of any of the running backs that currently are working. Well, let's get the kid, 10, 15 touches and see what happens.
They said they're gonna expand his role.
Well, it's about damn time. So let's expand the role here, and hopefully we get that. And if so, I think this 3 is comfortable with the Chiefs. Again, am I going crazy about it? No, but Boggs, where's your lean here when you're looking at Monday Night Football?
Yeah, I mean, listen, like the Niners screwed me over 2 weeks in a row, and the Jaguars were part of that last week, right? Beating the Niners on the road all the way across the country in a game they probably had no business winning. They just beat up the Niners, apparently. But yeah, I don't have a great feel for them. And like you, the coaching definitely goes to Andy Reid and Spagnuolo on the Chiefs side in this matchup. But Cohen has been good, and the Jaguars offense has been really running the ball well. Like Trevor Lawrence has not played well at all. Maybe that changes, maybe it doesn't. but the run game has worked for them. But
It has.
they don't match up well. This is a tough run defense and very good in coverage. The Chiefs are very good in coverage, right? I do think that on the offensive side for the Chiefs, they also match up better against the Jaguars. They can pass the ball. The secondary is still kind of weak. Run defense has been good for Jacksonville, but I think they can get beat specifically deep. So, yeah, I like the Jacksonville's at home, but that's about the only advantage I feel like they have in this one.
Now, if you watch the YouTube channel, and you watch obviously some of the comments, and I know Scott Bogman does not, there are a lot of people who take I don't want to say offense, but have a curiosity about the difference between I say Jaguars, you say Jaguars, and then people in England say Jaguars. So I just wonder, is it a regional thing with the Jaguars?
I honestly, I don't know. I think just everyone I grew up listening to on calls say Jaguars. So I know pronunciation wise, it doesn't work for a lot of people, but let me just ask you this. Do you understand who I'm talking about? Like, that is what the purpose of language is.
I think I do.
So
I think I do. Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app right now. Download it. Roll with Hard Rock Bet this season. Sign up the Hard Rock Bet way today and place your first bet $5. If it wins, you get $150 in bonus bets on top of your winnings. How about them apples? And it's just one more reason to check out the Hard Rock Bet app and see why it gets so many stars and such great ratings. Again, it's our last show here before we're going into the Sunday games and Monday Night Football. So if you want more insights, check out the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. It's right there on the app. Buffalo has won 13 in a row at home. Philly's won 12 straight at home. Hurts has reached the end zone 6 consecutive games. All those stats right at your fingertips, so you can use them to make the best wagers possible. And on Hard Rock Bet, you also get the profit boosts for football parlays every day through Monday Night Football. Back-to-back with college profit boosts today, it's Saturday, all over the place. You also get the profit boost on Sunday's games and another on Monday night. So there's new promos every single day. No matter what you're betting on there, you'll be able to get those NFL and college football picks in. And download the Sportsbook app today for Hard Rock Bet and make your first deposit so you can get $150 in bonus bets when that first $5 bet hits. Just bet the Chiefs on the money line. Boom, $150 right in your pocket. All right, let's just keep it simple. All right, let's talk about Trevor Lawrence here. Let's start with 220.5. This is immediately where I went to. This is, I think, the safest and probably best bet you can make on the prop side here. I do think he's been struggling, Boggs. You like the under here. I like the under here too. Why don't you continue to break down a little bit of the why too? Because again, the strengths of the Kansas City is the fact that they've been tough there on these teams throwing the football.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is just not a great matchup for Trevor Lawrence, and also his completion percentage has been garbage this year, specifically to BTJ, right? We know that. So 2-2 this season to this total. It's 220.5. I'm going to take the under. The Chiefs are 30th in run defense grade, first in coverage grade. So, they can be physical against the run. They haven't been good this year, but I just think that this is why I like Etienne, and I don't particularly like Trevor Lawrence or the pass catches this week. So statistically, KC is 8th against the pass as well. I just think they tamp down this already kind of weak Jacksonville passing game. So I'm going to go with the under on this. I think maybe they are playing catch up in this game a little bit, but Jacksonville's 19th in pass play percentage. Like I said, the run has been working. They want to run the ball. Should work better than the pass against the Chiefs. So I think that's going to be the game plan going in.
All right, so we're in agreement on this one for sure. All right, let's take the next one. Travis Etienne, 61.5 rushing yards. Now looking over at BettingPros too, he's hit this in 3 of the last 4 weeks, so that is huge. So Travis Etienne, look, he's the lead guy. Tootin's going to get his as well, but it's really been. I kept coming back to this, and people in the fantasy space did not want to hear me. I'm like, this guy was RB3 2 years ago. We just want to throw that out the window and not pay attention to that. He was basically a free square running back, and he's gotten off to a good start so far this year.
Yeah, I just think 61.5 is too low for him. And specifically with the Chiefs run D struggling recently. They were okay against the Eagles, right? Like we saw Chris Jones. You didn't even get 100 yards or whatever, but
we won the game, you stupid ass.
Yeah, we won the game, man. Yeah.
And then A.J. Brown came over. No, he didn't get 100 yards passing. You're right. You're right, Chris Jones.
But, I mean, Travis Etienne is averaging 16.5 rushing attempts per game right now. So if he's going to get that in this game, and we talked about how this team is a below average passing team in terms of attempts, they run the ball at a much higher percentage than most teams. So I think Etienne is going to have 17 to 20 carries in this game like he typically does. And I think he's going to have at least a couple big rips. So I think he can get to this fairly easily. This was my Kyron Williams from Thursday, which I saw him get and then lose and then get it and then fumble away. His total was 67.5, and he ended up with 66.
Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Yeah. Also, Brian Robinson would have done too. Like, I don't know what we have to get for an over for him. But Christian McCaffrey might not make it to week 7 at this point. Like,
I mean, what were they doing?
Why'd you acquire the guy if you're not going to use? I just don't.
I mean, specifically in that drive right after the half, when you're up 2 scores, right? Like, run your guy. What are you doing? But that's no more
complain
about that later. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about Xavier Worthy. He returned and had a big splash game here last week. So the number is 67.5. For the rushing/receiving yards, which is interesting here because you could take this one and cover yourself if they get him on those jet sweeps, moving around a little bit. And we know Andy Reid does like to be clever when it comes to Worthy's usage.
Yeah, and I think it would be a good thing to do against this front that has been good is to motion a little bit, right? Maybe no Walker in this game for Jacksonville, which would be nice for Kansas City's front. But I think with a front that has been beating people like Jacksonville has, I think it'd be good to do a couple of those shifts and motions. And he had 38 rushing yards on 2 attempts last week. So, and that was with only playing 59% of the snaps. Now, they were beating the brakes off Baltimore at the end of that game. So I think that was probably part of it. But Jacksonville's 24 statistically against the pass. They're 3rd in coverage grade. But digging deeper, you see that they faced Bryce Young and they injured Joe Burrow, CJ Stroud, and Purdy off of turf toe. So it's not like they've really been challenged. So Andy Reid is a challenge. Xavier Worthy is a challenge, specifically now that he's healthy. So I think 67.5. I think he gets the majority of this probably on a big play. So like 30 or 40 yards on one big one. And then you're just hoping for 4 or 5 other catches, and he's going to sail way past this. And if he snaps off one of those jet sweeps, that's going to be a big chunk of this too. So Worthy can do this with volume or on a big play. So this is probably my favorite play out of this game.
All right, we got another one here lined up after you have Xavier Worthy. Let's talk about Patrick Mahomes, over 35.5 pass attempts. This one's at -108. Again, he's hit this 3 of the last 4 weeks. So this is, I think, a pretty good bet here.
And the under is juiced. It's way juiced. So that kind of shades you towards the over also. But Jacksonville opponents this season, their attempts, 35, 45, 38, 38. They have the 5th highest opponents' attempts per game against, and they have the 2nd highest opposition passing play percentage. So Jacksonville's been winning a lot of games, so that's part of it. But I also think that the secondary is weaker than the front. So like we talked about, you do those jet motions, you do some quick outs. That gives you a little bit more time to build for that deep ball a little bit later in the game. So, yeah, I just think that Mahomes is going to have a lot of short, easy completions, specifically because the stupid run game has not been working for Kansas City at all. Like you said, give me Brashard Smith. None of these losers have been working.
Speaking of the stupid run game, let's talk about Isiah Pacheco, 40.5. rushing/receiving yards. I assume if we, again, believe Andy Reid and he's telling us the truth and they are going to get Brashard Smith more action, shouldn't that mean theoretically we're an under on this Pacheco number?
Yeah, 40.5. And this is total yards. Like, I understand this is a low number, but this dude was down to 37% of snaps and only 9 touches last week. So Jacksonville's front has been good against the rush, 9th in rushing yards allowed or yards allowed per attempt, 3.9. Brashard Smith, like you said, is expected to have a more expanded role or more touches, at least this week. And I think that Mahomes is going to be over on these pass attempts. So the run game just has not been working for Kansas City yet. And when they get to the goal line too, it's a lot of Kareem Hunt on short yardage, specifically later in the game, because I've been waiting on those Pacheco's over all year and they haven't hit because stupid Kareem Hunt has been in the game late. So I think let's just take the under and hope this isn't the Pacheco breakout game, because I don't know. I don't think he's going to break out. I think he's still running slow off of that fractured leg from last year.
All right. Remember, if you need more help with your prop betting, go to Prop Bet Cheat Sheet on the BettingPros app, or just go to bettingpros.com/props. Use it. Again, all the passing, the rushing, the receiving stat categories are all in there. I was going through it today, trying to get my favorite bets. And there's a great thing there because, again, if you're new to this here or you're watching us for the first time, you get the opportunity to look at the projections. You're looking at the numbers, then you're looking at the best lines, and then you can bet them. So sync your sports books for free. Use the Betting Pros app. Bet smarter, not harder. Don't be a tool. Use the tools. Let us help you. Prop Bet Cheat Sheet is one of the best in the business, if not the best. I love it. I love it for baseball, especially during the MLB season. All right, let's get to the SG-JoeyP. Again, missed it by another one. Devontae Adams, no touchdown there. So, and it's funny because I thought about the Kyron, just putting him in instead of Devontae and just, making it less sexy. But I thought, nah, Devontae Adams could get it done. He couldn't. So, again, we're going to trim down from the 3 to the 2 legs here. I want to come out with a victory this week. All right, so let's get week 5 here off on a good foot. And let's get to, or should I say leave it on a good foot. Let's get to Kansas City Chiefs -3 and the Trevor Lawrence under 212.5. I think those two things together, again, it's only plus 184, but I'd rather bet 2 units on something that I think is more controllable than 1 and just kind of piss the money away. So I don't want to do that. I'm not going to take any chances here. It's Monday night. I'm going to keep it simple, stupid. And I'm going to go ahead and take the Kansas City Chiefs -3 and Trevor Lawrence with the 212.5 passing yards. Again, that's plus 184. Boggs, I was struggling here with touchdown calls. I'll be honest with you. So I just threw one out there for Tyquan Thornton at plus 400 because he's been a guy that they've looked to for the big plays. And it's such a big return still at plus 400 that I'm like, why not? I mean, Kelsey doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy. At Pacheco, again, I don't know where we're going with that one. You could look at Kareem Hunt, but again, does that make me feel great? I feel like it's Tyquan Thornton, it's Noah Gray. I'm looking for the weird Patrick Mahomes finds the open guy touchdowns in the red zone. That's what it feels like to me anyway. But again, how are you approaching touchdowns? You're just keeping it again.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the KISS method as you mentioned before, the keep it simple stupid. I'm just gonna take Travis Etienne and take him at -115. Now, I actually did take him. You can see how much influence I have on the market clearly because I have a whole 1 unit bet on ETN to score a touchdown already, and I got it at plus 145. But it's now down to -115. Clearly, my 1 unit bet shifted the entire market here. But no, I think that's it's just the easiest one to pick this week. I mean, Kansas City scores with all kinds of different guys. Juju scored a couple weeks ago. Sometimes it's Kareem Hunt. Sometimes it's Pacheco. So Tyquan Thornton, like, hey, let's take him on a deep hitter for plus 400. That's fine. Yeah, I'm just going to do the KISS and say ETN -115. Seems like the most likely call in this game.
All right, so again, make sure you download the BettingPros app. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Again, shout out to everybody helping us get to 70,000 this week. Very exciting. Let's get to 80,000. Let's get to 90. Let's get to 100, baby. So let's go. So subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop your comments below. What are your favorite picks for Monday Night Football? That'll do it for us, but the story of the game goes on. For Scott Bogman, I'm Joey P. We'll see you next time, kids.